Everybody, Kevin here with Bullishbrs, and am I excited for another trading day with you all? So we're moving lower, right? We end up continuing that bear streak. This is day 6 of the bear streak. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days in a row. So if we are looking for trend, we are going to be looking for us to continue lower. We are breaking some key resistance levels. We actually did come into this demand zone here on that daily time frame, and if we're looking at it, we could see, and also sort of in a rock and a hard place, right? We have our daily demand zone right here. We're going to mark that out as our daily demand. Let's make it green, and we're going to use our key level, daily demand zone. So we sort of found some support here, but we also have this resistance here, this big blue zone. This was support for a while. We held it here, we held it here, we held it here, we held it here, but now we broke right through. So I want to see if we have any resistance in this zone. So 6 hour, we'll check and we'll delete any old zones we're not going to be using. That's not the gap price anymore. Okay, 4 hour. Potential of a 4 hour supply zone right here, but we're really going to have to keep an eye on that one. I'm going to mark it out for now with the supply range, but we're going to see if it does have anything else. Does it have text there? Hello. Let's see, 3 hour, 2 hour. This is 2 hour also starts to line up there a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well. Happy Friday. We have a 1 hour supply in that 4 hour supply. And these are lining up with that resistance level, right? This range was support, 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 broke it. Now we want to see if it works as resistance, 59.60. So let's do S1 hour. Well, let's do S4 hour, supply 4 hour. And that's because we're looking at this bigger zone right now. The bigger zone is the one we want to mark. The smaller zone, we're just going to shade out so we know that that area is a lot stronger than the whole zone in general. Let's see, 90 minute, 45, 15. Now we do have a 15-minute supply zone right here. So we are going to have to be a little patient and see how we want to react to that. So S15, but that's a lower time frame supply, right? We have a 4 hour over here and a 1 hour over here. So 59.20, but it does line up exactly with, and if we pull it to the left, look at this low wick right here. So this was an area of major support that now we broke it. We want to see if we want to work as resistance. So 59.17 around 59.20, key potential short zone on the ES. So let's put ES here. Let's put our edge full stat here for a sec, and let's check out ES on the previous day's range. And I want to check to see when we break that previous day's low, 68% chance of closing red. Past 5 times we broke previous day's low, we did close red. We'll go by weekday even. So yeah, weekday is same thing. Stats are in our favor. So we're probably going to be looking for some shorts today when it comes to the ES. A lot of sellers, so we're going to see. All right, good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to take a look at ES right now. What's up, Random? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Marcus, Preacher. What's up, fam? So what's been going on with the ES? Well, we were in a bull trend for a while while we were range bound, and we had a strong move to the downside. Look at this crazy drop to the downside we had just these past few days, right? Now, anybody who zoomed in on the charts, we're not really zooming out too far, or even just anybody looking at the 4 hour time frame and lower, they're not going to expect any type of support anywhere. They think we're just going to keep selling off, keep selling off. But if we are looking at the daily time frame, this bottom, this range right here, this low we're at right now, has been the bottom of our range for quite some time. So it is also a little hard for me to take shorts in the sense that unless I am able to short a supply zone or short an area of resistance, I don't want to be trying to chase it into a move. Because, yeah, this demand zone down here and it being at the bottom of the range like this might be where we find a place to stall out, or maybe even try to pull back. So we're going to see. We're going to be patient. Maybe what we have is we have our accumulation phase right up here. We had our manipulation phase right here to the downside. And if we're able to get back above this 59.61, then maybe we're able to get that distribution phase, which will bring us from this low 58.96 back to our range around 59.80, and then all the way to the highs. So that's what we would look for if we could reverse back bullish. Today is Friday, though, so we would really need to see that price action come in. And if we can get some good price action, then again, it's possible. This 59.20 area, the supply zone, if we do manage to break it and close above like 59.30 with some strength, I'll look for a retest of this zone to go long to target the supply zone, right? So I'm using different analysis, I'm using different zones, I'm using different potential setups to sort of keep myself prepared for the trading day. I'm trying to think. We have a lot of imbalances over here from the fair value gaps that we formed, but those were from yesterday, so I'm not a big fan of previous day fair value gaps. Let's move that down a little bit. So rising wedge, this is where everybody thought the market was going to sell off forever. It didn't. We found a range, and this is where everybody thinks the market's going to sell off forever. Might not happen. We're going to maybe find a range and go back higher. So we're going to be patient. Market range is 80% of the time. If we're looking at the market in a whole right now, this doesn't tell me bearish. This tells me range bound still. Until we're able to break, say, this 59.84 down here with some strength, and even not that level, because right now I like this strong key level 57.97, and then we even have this key level right here. I'm going to make this a key level and not, it was a looks like a 6-hour demand zone. We're going to delete that for a second. Just keep it as a key level, because again, that was also sort of bottom of the range. And if by chance we want to break this sell side liquidity on the daily time frame, we're going to mark this out. We're going to go to settings, add text, use SSL, sell side liquidity. We'll make it black on black on black, and we'll put it in the center. Nope, I always get those mixed up, right middle, and then we'll make this black. Great. So if we sweep this, I wouldn't stay bearish until we could close below it. Because if we sweep this and we want to see some type of reversal price action, a lot of people are going to be stopping out of their positions at this point, and that's what really drives a lot of liquidity into the market and a lot of volume. Now, yesterday's volume was pretty big. Look at the volume down here. So the volume picked up very strong yesterday. Now, again, when we get strong volume, even if we look at this day right here, the volume picked up. We had strength, and then we were able to continue. So I want to see if we are able to continue today. Really going to be looking to see these supply zones for some shorts. So what am I looking for on ES? Well, we've been range bound. We've been range bound for the past couple months, comma. We recently sold off to the bottom of the range, creating a lot of new sellers in the market, period. Right, so that's my thought process. My thought process is, okay, well, a few days ago, or let's just even say a week ago, when we had just one red candle and we were at these highs, guess what? Everybody was bullish, right? If we play the replay system, where are we at? When we were at the top of the range, everyone was bullish. Now that we're pulling back to the bottom of the range, everyone's bearish. So we don't want to really be chasing. We want to understand the higher time frame range, and we don't want to get stuck in the wrong direction. So that's why it is important that we're going to be a little extra patient on a day like today. We could even check the weekly candle as well. So look at that weekly. Now this is sort of what I mean by watching how today wants to close. Because if we can find some strength today, let's see if we have any news, consumer sentiment, anything. We had the PCE this morning. I think that was it news-wise. Chicago PMI, 945. We'll have to see. I don't know. There's been a lot of uncertainty in the market, and all the reports we've been getting, CPI, PPI, home data, has all been negative. So it's sort of hard to be any type of bullish in a market like this, but I'm just going off of the range, right? Range-wise, we could expect maybe a pullback today. So I'm going to look for a supply zone today for a possible short entry. If we find buyers, I'll look for a new order block or imbalance to enter on. And what do I mean by imbalance? Well, I mean fair value gap, right? Some type of gap in market or gap in price that shows me that there was a significant imbalance, that the market needs to balance itself. Now, whether I'm looking at a candle chart and I find a fair value gap, or I'm looking at Bookmap and I'm able to find a low volume shelf, those are two ways we could find imbalances in the market. Now, the Bookmap and the volume profile, that is extra helpful because those should line up with the imbalances we see on the fair value gaps. If fund buyers looking, and the edge full stat I was looking for today was right when ES breaks previous day's low. Past 5 out of 5 trading days, we closed red. So again, if we're closing red and we're looking to close red due to that stat, where would we have to close? Well, let's mark out our open price. We're going to mark it out with a gap for now, and then I'm going to double click it and we're going to change it to open. Okay. So we would have to close below this price level in order for us to remain bearish and keep this stat going in our favor. 15-minute wise, we sort of have this basing candle right here. A little bit of an order block, so we could see if we want to retest it and find some support. It also lines up with the daily demand zone too. So something that's also keeping me a little more bullish than bearish would be the daily demand zone we have down here. It hasn't been broken yet. And again, looking at this daily time frame range, we're at the bottom of the range. You know, we had a nice sell-off. We found our way to the bottom of the range, but now we are at the bottom. It's hard to short that low. A lot of people are going to be trying shorts here. Just got to be patient and really see how the market wants to play out. The past 6 months, we break previous day low and close red 70% of the time. Great stat. All right, beautiful. Now let's go check out crude and gold. Now something tells me crude and gold probably aren't going to give us anything too nice. And that's because oil just hasn't been lately. Let's make this a key level. Let's make this previous days high. PPDH. Previous days high. Because look how well that was a key level before. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to delete the 6-hour demand zone is broken. Looks like this was a nice support or resistance. Broke it, held it as support. We could check again our daily one more time, be real quick, mark out our actual previous day high and previous day low. Open price. And we don't really need the open price this time because we haven't taken out that previous day low yet. Let's move this here and make this a supply zone. Great. Okay. So crude oil, we had a very strong sell-off up until about, I would say, like right here is when we really started to fade the sell-off. On February 7th, we really got weak in the sense that we would move higher, then we'd pull back. We try to pull back higher, and then we'd sell off a little stronger again, breaking these recent lows. So the sellers are still intact. However, if we're looking at the move from here to here, this was a much smoother move than the move from here to here. There's only a 5% move in about 23 days. This was a over 8% move in about 18 days. So this was a more aggressive move to the downside. We're starting to lose that selling pressure down here. So crude oil is a bit of a tough one to trade right now. This was an area where we consolidated, so that's where we found support again. Let's see the 1 hour or the 2 hours, see if we have any demand zones down over here. I'm not really seeing much. Nope, not really seeing anything. So again, crude oil, probably going to stay out of it. Look how well it rejected this 15-minute supply zone we had, by the way. What now are you marking out? Pre-market is something I really want. Yeah, absolutely. Ken, I should have a video. I'll try to find it if you want to remind me in a little bit on how to do a pre-market prep, like how to like sort of go about your day, top-down analysis and all. But I'm gonna try to find that for you in a little bit. So crude oil, no really setups here. Let's take a look at gold, because gold was in a bull trend, then it was in a range, and now, well, look at where we are now. However, even though, yes, oh, well, look at this, we're taking out. Now, guys, if you ever need help finding ranges, finding if it's breaking highs or lows, the trend line tool is your best friend. You're going to mark it up to a recent pivot, any pivots you want. You can do it to as many pivots as you want as well. And just mark them out and drag them to wherever price is currently at or wherever if we have broken it. Okay, so we took those out. Okay, well, what about this one? Oh, well, we haven't taken this one out. Okay, that's good to know. What about to the upside? Well, we haven't taken any highs out lately. However, before we started to pull back, we were making all-time highs. Okay, that's something to be aware of. Now that shows me we're making higher highs, but we just expanded to trying to make some lower lows. We just broke these recent pivots right here, but that's only really just one major pivot. So we got to see if we want to hold this daily demand zone, maybe gold will find some support. And this might be lining up for us to have some good trading setups for next week if this daily time frame wants to push higher and hold, right? So if we could get back above this 28.85 on the daily and continue, that would be fantastic. Now, obviously, we're not looking for a 80-point move today on gold, but if you close back within this range, what I would like to do is I would like to take advantage of that and then trade up in that range, right? So once we close back above or we get back above this daily demand zone and we're back within the range from 28.85 to 28.69, I'm going to look for longs. I'm just going to be bullish for the next few days on gold if it gives me that setup. Daily supply marked out was from news. Was that from ES or something? Do I have a daily supply on ES? No, I think that was probably crude. Crude. Let's check her out. No way. Come on. There we go. This is from news. You know what it is? This is from news, but it's a daily supply zone. So if it's a news candle and it's like a 15-minute candle, those I won't really mark out. Those I'd rather mark the high and low. But if it's a full-blown daily candle, those I'll mark. If anything, it's good that we had news here because that means imbalance-wise, there might have been a lot of unfilled orders at this point. Lots of DMs. You guys got any questions, please let me know in the main chat too if you want. All right, so crude oil, really nothing. We were looking at gold before. Let's get gold back up on there. So let's go with the 4 hour. Just take a quick look. Okay. Okay, let's see. So what are we doing now? We're just cleaning up the charts. We got to keep the charts clean so we're able to look at a smooth screen. Time is it's 8:53. 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. Right now I'm going through the time frames and I'm looking at this area right here. I'm looking at this area, this range in here, and I'm going through different time frames to see if I could find a supply zone, a basing candle, and then an impulse move lower. This 3 hour would have been nice, but the sell-off was weak, very weak. It would have been nicer if this candle presented itself right here, and then we had the sell-off, but it didn't. So 2 hour, well, this could be a zone potentially, not the best of zones. We have a 45 right here. We have a 2 hour supply right here, so I'm going to move this 45 minute to a 2 hour if I can. There we go. So let's change this to S2 hour. Is your pre-market prep applicable for any market type stocks, Forex? A little bit. I mean, you know what it is when it comes to creating a pre-market prep or a system, any type of system in trading, it should be systematic, right? You should be able to create some sort of checklist. I always refer to checklists because we should be able to write it down. Step one, top-down analysis, or maybe for you, if you're doing stock scanners, step one might be setting up your scanners. So even though, yes, my pre-market prep is probably a little better for futures because I'm trading the same 4 tickers, ES, NQ, CLGC, because I'm talking to Ken right now, guys, one of the members here. He trades stocks and usually with a scanner. So even though, yes, you're trading different stocks, you could still create a pre-market prep in the sense that, okay, wake up, I check scanner A. And then maybe you'll have 2 active scanners you check, one for gaps and movers, and then another, not even a scanner, a watch list. So it definitely depends. Sorry, I was getting a call. It rang for a second. It was weird. Create a system. Everything has to be systematic. Everything has to be able to have A, B, C, D. If A happens, B happens, C happens. 1, 2, 3. What am I following? What rules am I following? All right, let's see. So really still looking for a zone up here, and I'm not seeing anything. Then how you're applying supply and demand, how are you lining up? Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, listen, you could. So with supply and demand definitely works better on high volume and large cap. So the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, gold, crude oil, and then even stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AVGO. I haven't done AVGO supply and demand. I'm sure it would be pretty fine it's got really good volume with it. But Tesla, Nvidia, these are major large caps. Those have great supply and demand, and those are great when you're trading what I call gap zones. So like if we have a demand zone coming up on Nvidia and we just open below it, that demand zone immediately comes supply. And then you could also use Bookmap when it comes to certain stocks as well. You would just need I think it's DX feed. Is that what it is? Connections, DAX feed, something like that. DX feed. Yeah, free delayed though. Let's see. So what I'm looking for today, guys, is I'm looking for gold to hold the bottom of this range. I'm looking for oil. Let's keep gold here. We'll keep gold here, and we'll put oil here. That's what it was doing. That's what I was doing the other day. I like oil is creating. Look at this potential basing candle right here. So here's a good example. This is a demand zone. If this 1 hour time frame wants to close somewhere up here and we get continuation. So because I'm looking for that, I might look to see if oil has any type of imbalance or any type of area that we might want to pull back to. Well, right away, I look at the session volume profile, and I see that we don't really have a low volume shelf anywhere. Maybe right below where price is currently trading, like 4 cents away, but nothing too out of the ordinary. And same thing with oil too. Remember, guys, we were bearish on oil. It has been making lower lows. It has been making lower highs. It has been making supply zones too. So definitely want to be a bit more patient on something like oil. Even look at this 5-minute fair value gap did end up holding. Now, even fair value gaps are a little hard to trade when it comes to the lower cap stocks, like the ones you're talking about, Ken. But the way you're trading, right? The way you're looking. Sorry, I got hair in my mouth. I should get a haircut. I should take a poll if I should trim all my hair off. The way you're trading it with momentum, with moving averages, that's fantastic, right? That's a different trading style from what I have, but it doesn't mean it's the wrong trading style. When it comes to trading in the market, there's a reason moving averages, MACD, RSI, these have all been around for hundreds of years because they do statistically and can work with the right risk management and the right parameters. So there's that big flip on oil. And again, that's sort of why we're staying out of it today. Seems very unexpected. Gold has been selling off lately. So even though, yes, we're at the bottom near some support, that doesn't mean I just want to go long anywhere. So we're really just being patient here. 15 seconds left on this 15-minute time frame. See how gold wants to react to this key level. We just swept 28.59.90. So if we want to head lower to target 28.56 and 28.55, it looks like, which is right below that demand zone, by the way. 25. Oh, it's right at the bottom of the demand zone. Very interesting. Very interesting. Good morning, everybody. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to wrap up Discord. If you guys want to hang around, I'm going to wrap up the pre-market YouTube stream. Stick around in Discord, and then I'll get the regular live stream going up. So YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in